Good afternoon, young people. This is an Explain Everything for your fractions unit for this term, the first term, and just a few observations, a few comments before I get into the actual detail of it. Please remember that calculators are not to be used because in the assessment you're not going to be able to use a calculator, so engage that beautiful fine calculator between your ears. Use that all the time. And make sure that you are able to do these things with a piece of paper in front of you and a pencil. It's a 4-week unit. Please do remember that I'll be flipping the class, so that means that I'll be sending you home with preparation for the next day, and we will build on that preparation that you have done. So if you come to class unprepared, that means you're already behind. That is what iPads are doing for us. That is what one-to-one devices enable us to do, and research has proved it's the very, very best way to study. So please, when we flip the class, be ready, be able. We are doing using the Alpha textbook as a reference, and you will be getting an electronic copy of that quite soon. I won't give you the page references because I think there might be a discrepancy between the electronic copy and the book. But in the book it is chapter 7 and 8, and I am hoping that it'll be chapter 7 and 8 in the electronic copy. So when you get that electronic copy, please find chapter 7, find chapter 8, and all of this information will be in there. Also, a quick reminder, please make sure that you do check the Alternet page on the Ariwa College Alternet. That will be the basis upon which we do this course, and everything will follow that. So please know where it is, and please use it. Also remember to use YouTube and Google as references. Put keywords in, put fractions, put equivalent fractions, put improper fractions, whatever it is you're looking for. Put those words into those two search engines and you'll be amazed. You'll get 1 million hits flat out, and it'll give you a new approach, a fresh approach, a new voice being done in a fresh way. So don't ignore that. Also your IXL resources. You've got your passwords now, your username, and I'll be referring you to those as well. The course outline for this term says that we will be doing some number revision and some fractions, of course, but first dealing with the number. That means that you are going to have to revise your addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Remember, we will be doing that in class as we go along. That's part of everyday mathematics, but make absolutely sure that you are comfortable and confident with those maths operations. Please make absolutely sure that you are able to do long multiplication and long division. If you've forgotten how, go to Google, go to YouTube, put those keywords in, and go and watch some videos where someone explains to you how to do it. If you still haven't got an idea or you've forgotten, please come and see me. I've also taken the trouble just to include the first page of Alternet, the maths fraction page. Please have a look. Be in or on that page constantly. Have a look at the top. There's introduction to fractions. There are equivalent fractions. All the bits and pieces that you need to be able to work are in there. Please don't be a stranger to that site. Have a look on the right hand side of that Alternet page. You can see PPT, which stands for PowerPoints. And you can see on the right hand side there are PowerPoints about recognizing fractions, mixed and improper fractions, equivalent fractions, simplest form of quantities, adding, subtracting, multiplication and division. So when you are working along the top there, when you're doing introduction to fractions or mixed numbers, equivalent fractions, ordering, multiplication, division, and you need some extra help, go and have a look at the PowerPoints over there. They're there to help you. Right at the bottom, you'll see that there are worksheets that are identified, and that is some extra practice for you. So don't be slow, don't be shy to go and use those to your advantage. This is chapter 7, young people, of the beta textbook. I'm not going to give you the page reference because it can be confusing if you are on your electronic copy. So please go to chapter 7 when you get to electronic copy, and this is where we are going to be working through. And it says a fraction shows how part of an object is compared to the whole of the object. Have a look at the fraction at the bottom. Any fraction, can be written as part over whole. And sometimes we call that, in fact always we call that, numerator over denominator. This is exercise 7.01, as you can see at the top of that slide. Please have a go at these. I'd like you to do question 1, 2, 3 and 5. And once you've done those, please check your answers. They'll be in your electronic copy, or you can pick up a copy of the textbook in class, and the answers should be there for you. Exercise 7.02. Please do questions 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Please remember to mark your work. If you want to have a go at more of those, you're absolutely welcome, but certainly these numbers I'm giving you are the minimum, and please have a go. Exercise 7.03. Please do questions 1, 3 and 5. Make sure that you mark them. We are in chapter 8 now of the Alpha textbook. I'm not going to give you the references again, but do look for it. And here we are dealing with mixed numbers. When I was at school, we used to call these types of fractions, we used to call them improper fractions. But the textbook calls them mixed numbers, so let's refer to that, let's stick to that terminology. So reading at the top, a mixed number is a combination of a counting number and a fraction smaller than one whole. And you can see an example of 4 3/4, 5 1/2, 7 1/10, all of those would be mixed numbers. And here's a number line that shows you where these fractions would fit in. Read the pink box, it's interesting. A mixed number like 2 1/4 really means 2 plus 1/4, and you need to be aware of that. That is important for your understanding of working with fractions. Have a look at the example down there. It is of interest and it is of use. The blue box at the top might be a bit unclear to you. I see the photograph hasn't come out very well, but I'll read it for you. It says, changing fractions to mixed numbers. First step, divide the denominator into the numerator, so that's the number below, into the number above. And the second part of the operation, the remainder, what is left over, gives the fraction part of the mixed number. So do have a look at the example there. Best way to learn is to have an example. Change 11 over 5 to a mixed number, and the answer, when 11 is divided by 5, it goes in 2 times with 1 left over. So the fraction is 2 1/5. 11 over 5 is equal to 2 1/5. That is really just simplifying the fraction. That's what's going on there. In exercise 8.05, please do questions 1, 3, 5, 7. You're welcome to do more, but please do those as a minimum. This is still exercise 8.05, and you are doing questions 1, 3, 5 and 7. Here is a strategy to change mixed numbers to fractions. And it explains there to you point 1 or step 1, write the mixed number as a whole number plus a fraction. The second step, change the whole number into a fraction with the same denominator as the fraction. The third step, add these fractions together. So there is an example, change 3 2/5 into a fraction. On the right hand side you can see how it happens. You've split them. 3 2/5 becomes 3 plus 2/5. 3 becomes 15 over 5 plus 2/5. You add the numerators together. You don't change the denominators. 17 over 5. So 3 2/5 is 17 over 5. This is obviously a case where you do not simplify the fraction because you've been asked in the question to present it as a mixed number. So you don't simplify here, otherwise it will take you right back to 3 2/5. Exercise 8.06, please do questions 1, 2 and 4, and please make absolutely sure that you mark your work. Have a look at this slide, young people. It's called Working with Mixed Numbers. There are examples throughout with the absolutely correct answer given to you. So follow the working out, have a go, see if you can get the right answer. Go back to the working out that they've showed you and see if you can work through their process back to the answer. That's the very, very best way to learn. Multiplication at the top, division on the right, addition and subtraction bottom, left and right. The very, very best way to do this is to have a go first. Don't look at the answer. Do your best, get an answer, and then see if you're correct. Clearly you know what you're doing. If not, look at the working out with a pencil, work through the process, and get an answer so that you can understand the work. If you are stuck, if you don't know what's going on, please ask. Please remember to Google or to have a look at YouTube video clips on this particular subject if you need any further help. But don't hesitate to ask me. Exercise 8.07. Please do questions 1, 2, 5 and 6. Exercise 8.08. Questions 1, 3, 5, 7, 11 and 12.